I want you to close your eyes for a second. Imagine waking up on the morning of your 65th birthday. You roll out of bed and you feel it. The stiffness in your back, the years of stress in your shoulders. You walk to the mirror. You see the gray hair. You see the wrinkles. You see a person who has worked hard for 45 years. You followed the rules. You showed up on time. You stayed late. You were responsible. You were a good employee. Now, open your eyes and look at your bank account in this scenario. The number you see there is terrifying. It's not enough. There is no golden parachute waiting for you. Social Security? It's barely enough to cover your grocery bill, let alone your rent or property taxes. The freedom you were promised in exchange for a lifetime of labor is gone. Instead of planning a trip to Italy or retiring to a quiet beach, you are looking through the classifieds for a part-time job as a greeter at a big box store, just to keep the lights on. This is not a nightmare. This is the statistical reality for the majority of people living in the wealthiest countries on earth. Here is the painful truth that nobody wants to tell you, and it might make you angry to hear. Most people are not poor because they don't earn enough money. I know. You're looking at your paycheck right now, thinking, if I just made an extra $10,000, everything would be fine. But the data proves that is a lie we tell ourselves. We see it all the time. Professional athletes who make millions and go bankrupt within 5 years of retiring. Lottery winners who end up broke. Professionals earning 6 figures who live paycheck to paycheck. The problem isn't the income. The problem is that you are fighting a war against your own psychology, and you are losing. You are leaking wealth. Every single month, you tell yourself you're going to save. You tell yourself, this month, I'll be disciplined. But then life happens. The car needs new tires. You had a stressful day and ordered $40 worth of takeout. You saw a sale on Instagram, and by the end of the month, the money is gone. You aren't failing because you are stupid. You are failing because you are human. You are relying on willpower to get rich, and willpower is a finite resource. Today, we are going to fix that leak permanently. We are going to dismantle a book called The Automatic Millionaire by David Bach. This isn't about getting a second job or starting a side hustle that burns you out. It isn't about becoming a relentless penny pincher who never has any fun. It is about one simple, radical idea. You cannot trust yourself to get rich. So we are going to build a system that gets you rich despite you. A system that works while you sleep. A system that works even when you are being lazy. Let's dive in. The core concepts. Big idea 1. The Latte factor. The math of small numbers. Let's start with the concept David Bach is most famous for. It's become a bit of a cliche in the finance world, but stick with me, because most people completely misunderstand it. He calls it the Latte factor. Now, before you roll your eyes and click away because you're tired of hearing boomers tell you that you'd own a house if you just stopped buying avocado toast, hear me out, because I actually agree with you. If you cut out coffee, you aren't magically going to buy a mansion next week. But Bach isn't really talking about coffee. In the book, Bach tells a story about meeting a woman who claims she can't save a dime. She's living paycheck to paycheck, stressed out of her mind. But as they talk, he finds out she has a routine. Every morning, she buys a fancy latte and a muffin. It costs her about $5. In today's economy, let's be real, with a tip and inflation, that's probably closer to $10 or $12. Bach does the math for her. That small, innocent $10 habit, it doesn't feel like a decision. It feels like nothing. It's just pocket change. But here is the crazy part. The human brain is terrible at understanding exponential growth. If you take that $10 a day, that's $300 a month. That's $3,600 a year. Now, if you took that $3,600 a year and invested it in a boring index fund earning an average return of 10%, over 40 years, that is not $144,000, which is the cash you put in. Because of compound interest, that money grows to nearly $1.6 million. Let that sink in. $1 million. Gone. Drunk in paper cups. The latte factor is a metaphor. It represents the opportunity cost of your small habits. It's the subscription service you signed up for 3 years ago and forgot to cancel. It's the extra data on your phone plan you don't use. It's the impulse buy at the gas station because you were hungry. We tend to worry about the big ticket items. I shouldn't buy that $30,000 car, but we ignore the slow daily bleed that destroys our ability to compound wealth. The anti-AI nuance. Now, here is my personal take on this for 2024, which differs slightly from the book. I don't want you to have a scarcity mindset. If that morning coffee is the only thing keeping you sane, if it is the highlight of your day, buy the coffee. Seriously. Life is too short to be miserable. However, you have to acknowledge the trade-off. Money is a tool for value. If you value the coffee, keep it. But you must then cut ruthlessly on the things you don't value. The latte factor isn't about deprivation. It's about intentionality. It's about realizing that every dollar you spend unconsciously is a soldier you are firing from your army of wealth. Stop letting money leave your pocket without your permission. Big idea 2, the pay yourself first paradox. This leads us to the engine of the whole book. If you fix this one thing, you can get almost everything else wrong and still end up rich. It's called pay yourself first. Most people run their financial lives on what I call the leftover model. It looks like this. 1. You get paid. 2. You pay the landlord or the mortgage bank. 3. You pay the credit card company, Visa, MasterCard. 4. You pay the phone company, Verizon, T-Mobile. 5. You pay the grocery store. 6. Then, at the end of the month, you look at what is left over and you say, okay, I'll save this. But be honest with me. Is there ever anything left over? No, there never is. Do you see the problem here? You are prioritizing everyone else over yourself. You are working for your landlord. You are working for Visa. You are working for the electric company. You are the last person to get paid from your own labor. You are treating your own financial future as the lowest priority bill in your stack. Bach suggests a complete reversal. He says you need to look at the government. Why is the government always the first to get paid? Because they take their taxes out of your paycheck before you even see it. They don't trust you to pay them in April. They know you'd spend it. So they intercept the money at the source. You need to do the exact same thing for yourself. When that money hits your account, the first person who gets a cut is future you. But how much? This is where it gets actionable. Bach suggests the 1-hour rule. I want you to calculate how much you earn in 1 hour of work. If you're salaried, take your annual income and divide it by roughly 2,000, the number of work hours in a year. If you make $60,000 a year, you make about $30 an hour. Can you survive on the income of 7 hours a day instead of 8? Of course you can. You wouldn't even notice the difference in your lifestyle after 2 months. You'd just skip one takeout meal or buy one less shirt. The goal is to take that 1 hour of income every single day and route it directly into your freedom fund. This takes the emotion out of it. You aren't trying to save. You are keeping the first hour of your life for yourself. Big idea 3. The power of automation. Killing willpower. This leads us to the title of the book and the most critical concept in this entire video: the Automatic Millionaire. If you only remember one thing from today, let it be this next sentence. Willpower is a battery, and yours is empty. You wake up with a full battery, but every decision you make drains it. What should I wear? Drain. What do I eat for breakfast? Drain. How do I reply to this angry email? Drain. By the time you get home at 6 p.m., your battery is dead. That is why you don't go to the gym. That is why you eat junk food on the couch. And that is exactly why you don't manually transfer money into your savings account. Bach's thesis is simple. If you have to make a conscious choice to save money every month, you will eventually fail. You might succeed in January and February, but in March, when the car breaks down, you'll skip it. You need to set up a system where being poor is difficult. In the book, Bach introduces us to a couple, the McIntyres. They are the heroes of the story. They weren't doctors or investment bankers. They never earned a massive salary. Yet, they retired early, owning 2 homes debt-free, with nearly $2 million in the bank. How? They didn't have iron discipline. They just had a system. They never saw the money. They went to their HR department or their bank and set up an automatic deduction. The money went from their paycheck directly to their 401k. It went directly to their investment account. It went directly to their savings. It bypassed their checking account entirely. Here is the magic of this. It exploits Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law usually states that work expands to fill the time available. Well, in personal finance, spending expands to match the income available. If you log into your bank app and see $5,000, your brain says, "Great, I have $5,000 to spend." You will subconsciously find a way to spend it. But if $1,000 was automatically stripped out before you ever saw it, and you only see $4,000, guess what? You won't starve. You won't suffer. You will naturally, painlessly adjust your lifestyle to live on $4,000. You make the decision once, the day you set up the automation, and then you are disciplined forever without having to use a single ounce of willpower. Big idea 4. The escalator to wealth, home ownership. Let's talk about the most controversial topic in modern finance, real estate. Bach calls home ownership the escalator to wealth. His argument is straightforward. Renters stay on the ground floor. Owners get on an escalator that slowly, automatically moves them up. Why? Because a mortgage is essentially a forced savings account. You have to pay it, or they take the house. And every month, a little chunk of that payment pays down your principal, increasing your net worth. Plus, over long periods, real estate generally appreciates in value. It's leverage. The Real Talk Nuance 2024-2026 update. Okay, I need to pause the summary and be real with you for a second. I know reading this now feels different than when Bach wrote it in the early 2000s. Bach says, don't rent, buy immediately. In today's market, with interest rates and housing prices where they are, that might not be mathematically perfect advice for everyone right this second. In some major cities, renting is currently significantly cheaper than buying. However, the psychological principle holds true. If you are renting, you must simulate the forced savings of a mortgage. If renting saves you $500 a month compared to buying, you can't spend that $500 on shoes and drinks. You have to invest it. If you don't, Bach is right. Renting will leave you broke because you aren't building equity. But if you do buy, Bach offers a cheat code that I absolutely love. It's called the bi-weekly payment plan. Most people pay their mortgage once a month. That's 12 payments a year. Bach suggests you take your monthly payment, split it in half, and pay that amount every 2 weeks. Because there are 52 weeks in a year, you end up making 26 half payments. That equals 13 full payments. You accidentally make one extra full mortgage payment every year without feeling it. This simple trick can shave 7 to 10 years off a 30-year mortgage and save you tens of thousands of dollars in interest. Big idea 5, the trap of debt and the done with it day. The biggest enemy of the automatic millionaire is high interest debt. You cannot fill a bucket that has a massive hole in the bottom. If you have credit card debt at 22% interest and you're investing in the stock market hoping for 8% returns, you are losing money every single second. It's simple math. The bank is winning. You are losing. Bach suggests automating your debt payoffs too. Don't trust yourself to pay extra. When you can, you won't. Set up the autopay for considerably more than the minimum. He talks about a concept called the done with it day. I want you to calculate exactly when you will be debt-free. Don't guess, do the math. If I pay $300 a month, I will be free. On August 14th, 2027, write that date down. Put it on your fridge. Put it on your bathroom mirror. When you have a finish line, the race becomes bearable. When you don't see the end, you just give up. You need to visualize the day you break. The chains. The bridge. We've covered a lot of mechanics here. Automation, the Latte factor, real estate hacks. But I know what some of you are thinking. You're sitting there thinking, this sounds great for other people, but I just can't get my head around the numbers, or I have this psychological block that stops me from even logging into my bank account because it gives me anxiety. That is totally normal. Money is 20% math and 80% behavior. The math is easy. The behavior is hard. If you find this concept of money mindset hard to master, if you feel like you self-sabotage every time you try to get ahead, I actually wrote my own audiobook series specifically on the psychology of wealth and breaking those mental barriers. It goes deeper into the why behind our spending habits and how to reprogram your brain to enjoy saving. If that sounds like something you need, you can find it in the description below. It's helped a lot of people stop fighting themselves. But right now, let's get back to the Automatic Millionaire, because I promised you an action plan to start today. Last words and action plan. We are not just going to consume this content, get a dopamine hit of feeling productive, and then move on to a cat video. We are going to change your financial trajectory right now. I want you to take 3 specific actions today, not tomorrow, today. Action step 1. The 1-hour audit. Grab your phone calculator. Take your annual salary and divide it by 2,000. That is your rough hourly wage. Example, $80,000, 2,000 equals $40 hour. Now look at your retirement contribution or your savings. Are you saving $40 a day? That's roughly $1,200 a month. If you aren't paying yourself first. You're working the first hour of every day for free. Your goal is to adjust your budget so you can get your automatic savings to match that number. Action step 2, the phone call or the app switch. Bach talks about making one phone call to set this up. In 2024, it's probably a few clicks in an app. Log into your payroll provider or your bank. Set up a split deposit. Tell the system, send 10% or your 1-hour number of my paycheck to this separate high-yield savings account or investment account. Do not rely on transferring it yourself. Make the robot do it. Make the money disappear before you have the chance to buy something stupid with it. Action step 3. Find your latte for the next 3 days. I want you to track every single time you tap your card. I want you to find your latte factor. Maybe it's not coffee. Maybe it's in-app purchases. In video games, Maybe it's subscriptions to streaming services you haven't watched in 6 months. Maybe it's eating lunch out because you were too lazy to pack a sandwich. Find that leak, plug it, and then, this is the key, take that money you saved and add it to your automatic transfer from step 2. David Bach isn't promising you a get-rich-quick scheme. Get rich quick usually leads to get broke fast. He is promising you, get rich slow. It's boring. It's unsexy. It happens in the background while you are living your life. But it works. You don't need more willpower. You just need a better system. Go set up your automation. Your future self is waiting to thank you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.